So we're looking at simple sentences, and in this video we're looking at the compound sentence. Compound sentences are made up of two or more independent clauses. Independent clauses, as we know, would make up a simple sentence. So in a sense, I suppose what we're looking at here is simple sentences joined together. And they're always joined together using a coordinating conjunction. These are actually usually the same words. They're usually either and, or but, or. Let's have a look at an example. So here is Gina, age 4, talking to her mother. And she says, "My teacher holded the baby rabbits and we patted them." Very cute little transcript, this one, very charming, which we could look at for all sorts of reasons. But let's look at this structure here. So she says, "My teacher holded the baby rabbits." Subject, verb, object. And we patted them. Same structure. Subject, verb, object. And then these two independent clauses, which could stand happily on their own, have been joined together using and, which if you like you could see as a kind of glue. Well, what would we say about this if we went on to discuss it, having worked out what this was, this syntax? Well, Gina is probably at the telegraphic stage. Now we can tell that because, for example, she's got that absolutely classic virtuous error. She's got the verb hold. She's put it in the past tense. It's an irregular verb, so normally it would be held, but she's used a regular past tense ending. Completely and utterly logical, so we call it a virtuous error, but that is a feature of the telegraphic stage. In the telegraphic stage, she seems to be able to create simple sentences using the subject-verb-object construction, and in addition, she can also formulate compound sentences, joining these simple sentences together. And here is Joe doing that in great abundance. Okay, so here he is going, "Lexi, don't go," and he was slowly, and he slept in a bed for ages and ages, and he fell out. He's playing with a toy and he's kind of using a running commentary or creating a running commentary alongside. But here we have 4 independent clauses, all of which could stand on their own, joined together by and. And it just shows you, I guess, that you can do this for infinity. And in fact, actually, little children often do go on and on and on like that. Let's look at a literary text now. So, here's the first sentence of a very famous novel. "It was a bright, cold day in April." Now, let's just look at that clause for a second. It was a bright, cold day in April. Well, we'd probably say, wouldn't we, that's an absolute kind of classic opening clause to a novel or to a story. You've got the time, you've got the weather, so it's simple, it's typical, it's relatively ordinary. Then you get the conjunction and then you get the second clause. And the clocks were striking 13. And suddenly, what? 13? Clocks don't strike 13. Suddenly it becomes out of the ordinary. It becomes really quite weird. And there's a reason for that, of course. This is the opening of 1984 by George Orwell, and it is one of, if not the most famous ever example of a dystopian novel. He's creating a world here which is designed to be strange. And right at the beginning, in what seems like an innocuous and innocent first sentence, he's already starting to destabilize you and to make you feel a little bit awkward. And that then is built on throughout the rest of the opening. So that's what I think I would say about that particular use of a compound sentence in a novel. There we go. Compound sentences, few things said there, done. Thanks very much.